Hello, Mr. Chipmunk. You're a northern reticulated chipmunk. Yes, you are. You are so reticulated. Hi, Mrs. Owl. You're out kind of early. La 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 la.
Yes, I love her like.
When I was a kid,
Stupid younger generation.
movies like this were a dime a dozen. You know what I'm talking about. Take a cartoon character our parents or grandparents grew up with, put them in the real world, have them help a random white person out with something going on with work or like a relationship or something. Some made sense to do, right? Since they used to be mad popular. But some were like different. Somebody, please tell me, which one of you niggas thought up Underdog?
Underdog. I like it.
Holy, Jason Lee was getting to that damn bag, huh? Underdog. I like it. What a random fucking choice. This is like the teacher's pet movie of these shits. I hate dogs. Alvin and the Chipmunks was different though, because this time it was a franchise that all three generations had grown up with. Like, I was a fan before these movies came out, and I was only like 10. These movies also had heavy involvement from the Bagazarians themselves. It annoys me to no end that these characters are all played by these random ass people, Bazinga, and they don't even have them sing. Every record, it's just the Bagazarians singing. Why get Jesse McCartney if he not gonna fucking sing? Damn it, I'm angry all over again. That's better. Oh, he irking on this shit. They got this on Apple Music. And even though most people kind of agree that these movies are, yeah, I thought it'd be worth it to look at these movies through a different lens. Every time I see a video on these, it's about how boring they are, unfunny, uninspired, but it's never truly been examined through the lens of a fan. What do these 4 movies get right about the Alvin and the Chipmunks franchise? What do they add? What do they take away? Coming in stronger than ever before. The fuck, bro? This is what the Chipmunk movies got right. And wrong, I guess. I don't know.
I don't want to come home and find a bunch of rabbits and skunks on my couch.
Filthy creatures, Dave. Never associate with them.
Oh, racist ass Simon.
Wake up!
Or better, we can see each other in real life.
Real quick, today's video is actually brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. Raid is a completely free turn-based RPG game for mobile devices and PC, where you can build your own squad, with a roster of over 650 unique champions, new events every month, and so much more. The more you play, the more you can upgrade your champions with different gear, and use the tavern to create your own completely unique, customized dream team. But for those who didn't have a chance to get to know Raid, this is for you. R is for role-playing, which is fun, addictive, and free. A is for the arena, where you can create an amazing team. I is for the incredible champion collection. And D is for the dope challenges you'll face in the game. Right now is the perfect time to check out Raid for yourself. And that's because Raid is celebrating their 4th year anniversary, which also means that there's tons of different special offers, free gifts, promo codes, and events, all waiting in store for you, including a brand new fusion event, where you can earn a special anniversary themed legendary champion. New players who click the link in the description or use my QR code on the screen will also get the dope champion, who is Kellen the Shrike. There's endless content with new champions and new updates every single month. You got a phone, right? Then you should be playing Raid Shadow Legends. Otherwise, you're definitely missing out.
Oh, really? A teen girl without a phone?
That's what I keep saying. It's just harder to justify every year.
Play on, player. The birthday celebration train does not stop there, as you can also use the code 4YearsRaid to get your hands on 4 legendary skill tomes to give your champions a serious edge, plus all kinds of other stuff.
We're the Chipmunks, for crying out loud!
This is absurd. I feel like P. Diddy with fur.
Oh, what you know about that Diddy, Jay? Hello. Good morning.
Let's go, let's go.
I actually regret this bit. I fucking hate this beat. In 2007, Alvin and the Chipmunks hit theaters, the same weekend as I Am Legend and The Perfect Holiday. And guess what my black ass went to go see? This Christmas.
Lisa, this is not funny. No, it's not, but I'm gonna keep drinking until it is.
Dave Seville is washed. He hates his job. He can't sell his songs. He stink. Probably. He might smell like a bag of wet nickels. It's a toss-up. I don't know. And in this shot, we see Dave stealing from a black woman, just like many white musicians that came before him. 3 singing chipmunk brothers end up on his doorstep, and he starts to manage their career. Evil manager David Cross wants the boys all to himself. The boys grow close to Dave and consider him a family. It's a lot, and I never really had the patience to describe stories in these things. I do not remember how I felt in that movie theater in 2007, but I can tell you what I think now. Bruh, I don't know. I didn't hate this. It's not the best movie you could have told with these characters. We all know what that looks like. But I honestly don't think it's a bad intro for a new generation of kids to fall in love with these 3 brothers. All of the boys are in character, though it does feel like Theodore is written to be a little younger.
Hey! Stop doing it! Turn that off!
Sorry, he fell out of the tree at birth.
Hey, what the fuck?
To me, these characters have always been a family, without a shred of doubt. And it's cool to see a story about them falling in love with each other. I really like that they made the first movie do this, to really get you on board with this dynamic and theming. This movie does change the boys' backstory though, at least from the Ruby Spears cartoon. In that, I'm pretty sure the boys were left on Dave's doorstep by their mother.
Green tiny fear, you needn't fear, and when you wake, I will be. Thanks, Mom.
Here, they're 3 kids that are on their own that are greatly influenced by deforestation. Now that's a word I haven't said since social studies class.
Well, where are your parents?
When you're a chipmunk, your parents take care of you for a week. Then they take off. Our parents were hippies. They left early to join a commune.
Bro, what the fuck? I really love how it opens with the boys singing Bad Day. No real complex reason or anything, I guess it's just nice to hear. They get the music right in general in these, honestly, at least the singing. Before they get signed and start recording all the records, they kind of treat them like a little acapella band, which I think is a really nice choice. And that new version of Witch Doctor, it's a little dated. And not in like a charming, nostalgic way either. The only part that cranks is the chorus. They do a few real clever things, honestly. It's not just the music. I really like how they introduced the concept of Simon eating glasses.
I got it, guys. Come to Papa. Hey.
Simon, this landed right in front of you. You didn't see it? Try these. How's that?
What I was surprised about during this watch, at least as an adult fan, was just how many random references there is to other Chipmunks media in this thing. They show Alvin using a hula hoop, which is a reference to the first song that they ever recorded, which they end up recording later in the movie anyway. Not only is it a reference, but it's also a little payoff too. They bodied that.
Dun, 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 dun. Want a plane that loops the loop. Loop. Hoop. Hula hoop.
Any songwriters watching this, is this how this goes? Like, for real? Like, is this really what it's like when y'all come up with melodies? Because I've always hated when movies did this. They do this shit like 5 times in Straight Outta Compton.
You got knocked the fuck out. That's just funny.
During their montage with Ian, the boys are seen sitting in like director's chairs. And a fan of me wants to say that this is a reference to the second 80s intro. But I honestly don't have anything to back that up. These could honestly just be like random shots. But the fact that I can even consider that very specific reference to be true in this thing kind of tells me that they did a little something right, you know? Alright, I've ignored it long enough. Where the fuck is this nigga's hat? Oh, there it is. Never mind. All honesty, my guess is that they couldn't really find a way to make him look like a real chipmunk while also making the hat look good, because the parts that they do show kind of look type tacky, which I do understand because in the ones that we grew up with, he just kind of has human ears. As a 10-year-old, I was pissed. But as a 25-year-old with an understanding of character design, I could care less. I'm still trying to figure out how the fuck I'm gonna pay rent this month. I guess if I wanted to get a little more nuanced than I do, I'd bring up how Jason Lee, My Name is Earl, plays Dave in this. Jason Lee's Dave is not as mad as 60s Dave, and he's not as welcoming as 80s or CGI Dave. But he meets somewhere in the middle, and I think that's fine. As a kid, I feel like I may have thought he was a little too mean, but nah, man, watch that Alvin show again. You'd think he hated these little motherfuckers.
Whatever you want, no.
Now, what do you want?
The one difference in this one is that he's kinda stupid. Like, Dave was never dumb, that's why the boys could look up to him. But this Dave is stubborn, he's immature, he's incredibly selfish, he moves way too fast and makes idiotic mistakes. But I kinda think they had to do him like this in order to give him a believable arc in these movies. This is kind of the story about how Alvin Show Dave became Ruby Spears Dave. So it's not really like they messed Dave up, you know, it's more like the one that we know just doesn't exist yet. They have to develop him to that point. To the point of being selfless, welcoming, warm. And that's different. Not a lot of franchises would do something like this. He just can't get the yell down though, bruh. He can't do it, I'm sorry.
Alvin!
I fucking hate it, bruh. You gotta push that shit out. Oh, soft ass bro show yo. What do you want, ma? Dave's still broke here, which I think is hilarious. He can't afford a bunch of great value waffles. He hates his job. He has to fix his dirty ass car on his own. He gives the boys fucking savings bonds for Christmas. There's an episode of the Deke seasons of the cartoon where they literally have to push Dave's car. What the hell is in their recording contract? Dave has a love interest in this too. She doesn't do much, but I know that her function in the story at least is to establish Dave's wishy-washy past. He blew it with her before just because his mind was all over the place. And it's because of her that he sees this mirrored in his behavior and how he treats the boys.
Don't take it personally, you guys. Some people don't know a good thing when they've got it.
Oh shit, fuck she say that for? I don't know. This isn't me saying this is a hidden gem or anything, or that anyone's bugging for not liking this, but I didn't have a bad time with it. The stuff it gets right with the characters, it gets really right, and that's most stuff. I was impressed. But I mean, as a movie on its own, it's kinda whatever. It's not the best story. The little forced current slang and dialogue is really just something that you're gonna have to get used to in these. That really drags it down for me, honestly. The humor is probably the worst part. Not a fan of all the farts. Simon eating Theodore's shit. Nope. Don't need to be reminded of that.
Oh my God, Theodore, did you just...
It's a raisin, Dave.
Prove it. Okay, you got me. Look, I want to talk to all you guys. Where's Alvin? Alvin?
You owe me big time.
In the trailers, it was Alvin, by the way.
Dude, you owe me big time.
And honestly, this is the best joke in the entire movie.
3 months ago, you were hanging out in a tree somewhere, and now you're...
Major rock stars.
Dude, thank God, because I fucking hated that Diddy beat. Man, I watched these like 3 days ago, and I barely remember this one. Alvin and the Chipmunks, the Squeakquel. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Sorry, I almost threw the fuck up. Released the same weekend as Sherlock Holmes and It's Complicated. And guess where the fuck I was?
In the house.
Dave gets injured. Oh.
You owe me big time.
Not too long setting up for the boys to attend high school. I'm pretty sure Theodore is like 6 years old, but whatever. Boys Aunt Jackie comes to babysit them, and this happens.
I cried laughing when I read it.
You know what I'm saying? like, we need to stay away from these niggas.
Is she gonna be okay?
Don't worry about me. I'll be home in no time.
In you go.
Oh.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Oh shit, it's baby driving.
I left my shotgun behind. What? I left my shotgun behind.
Now the boys are just home alone with their cousin Toby. At the same time, Ian's goofy ass meets the Chipettes, and it's Operation Exploit Animals Part 2 in full effect, baby. There's a fundraising talent show that can help the school. The boys and girls have to compete against each other. The boys get bullied a little bit.
Get him! Worry, Burry? Do you think he means woolly bully?
This movie has a little less direction than that other one, which isn't new for Chipmunks media. Literally half of Frankenstein is just them being lost in that theme park. You might have caught it in my little synopsis there, but this is where we meet the Chipettes, Brittany, Eleanor, and Jeanette.
Pink is my new favorite color. Her glasses were quite fetching. She's like a beautiful green gumdrop.
So they only remember the colors. Just for contrast though, this is how they meet in the Ruby Spears cartoon.
Good night, Dave.
Dave isn't in this one at all, really. I read that it was because of his My Name is Earl filming, but because of that, all of the theming from the first movie just kind of feels like it doesn't fucking mean anything. He did all of that growing with the boys just for us to not see what that relationship blossomed into. I think it's one of the biggest fumbles in the movie. So as a fan of these characters, I personally feel like this movie kind of messes up the girls' characters a little bit. Brittany lost a lot of her sass, her self-absorbed nature and wit, in exchange for her to kind of just be like a stock leader. There's a subplot in this one that goes absolutely fucking nowhere, where Ian says that he really wants to emphasize that Brittany is a star. And she's just kind of like, huh? What? Me?
Yeah. Now that I like. And it's not just because Brittany's more of a mega ultra superstar than you guys.
The original Brittany was so big-headed. She would have been so lit off Ian saying that she was a star, you have no fucking idea. And she definitely wouldn't let Ian shit talk Eleanor's body, golly.
Have you always been that short?
I guess.
Well, you gotta work on that.
At the same time too, right? Eleanor is supposed to be the sweet one, definitely, but not soft. She's not a mirror of Theodore. She's way more confident. She wouldn't let him say any of this shit either, honestly. And like the girls are so much more like well articulated compared to the boys. It's hilarious, but it's also kind of wholesome. I don't know, they're adorable.
I think Theodore was mocking at me. Yeah, I know. But guys, remember what Ian said? We can't trust them.
Like, why are they talking like this? They're children's in the 2000s. They better loosen up, shit. By this point, I was quoting Butters. By this point, I was quoting Butters' bottom bitch on the playground. Please don't tell my mom.
You know what I'm saying?
In theme with the first movie, this one changes the girls' backstories a bit. They actually live in a tree by themselves. This movie ends with them moving in with Dave, which is definitely new. They try it out for like a day or two in the cartoon, but they ultimately end up moving in with Miss Miller, a family friend of the Chipmunks who does not exist in these movies, and I've never understood that. You can have Miss Miller in this movie as like a motherly figure for the girls that really wants them to have the career they want and naively puts her trust in Ian. Maybe instead of Aunt Jackie babysitting them, it's Miss Miller, and that's how she meets and falls in love with the girls. I don't know, something. I guess that's just what I'm getting at. She's such an important part of the franchise to me. It's just wild that they just ignore her in these. Honestly though, like the most interesting thing about this movie is the damn cast. You got Baby Driver Storm in this shit, Good Luck Charlie, Shazam. Why nigga? Why nobody told me this was Shazam? I would have been watched those movies. Fuck that.
He's lying! He's lying! He's lying!
Some of these songs they cover, man, I'm just like, man, they playing that bullshit. Like I ain't want to hear none of these. I ain't want to hear Fireworks back then. Fuck make you think I want to hear the 2023. But I do think it serves as a little time capsule for kids that grew up around this time. I'm sure someone who wasn't a kid in the early 2000s isn't a fan of Aaron Carter, Jimmy Neutron music, but I honestly can't imagine my life without it.
Roger that, Alvin!
Look out!
Whoa! Feels like I'm back at the racetrack.
Okay, so I've wondered who the hell this was for years, and I'm sure a few people watching this have too. I just assumed he was like a random relative of the boys from the cartoon that I just didn't know about, but no. The real answer honestly kind of pissed me off. So his name is Digger.
Can you dig it?
In 2009, same year the movie came out, mind you, NASCAR on Fox had these little Tracy Ullman style vignettes with him as the main character, which explains why he says this.
Feels like I'm back at the racetrack.
But the gag is, they started to fade his ass out as early as 2010. So this shit was dated before it even came out on DVD, golly. I think the Squeakle is definitely worse than the first movie, but it's honestly the one of the four that feels the least like an actual Chipmunks thing. No Dave, high school instead of middle school. The girls have practically none of their identifiable character traits. They did not body this. Again, not terrible, but it's wild to think the one that introduces some super important characters is the one that kind of feels the least memorable. If I give it points for anything, It's whatever the fuck happened here.
This rat has serious junk in the trunk.
Yeah, little fatty.
He jiggles when I poke him.
You know what? That's enough.
They actually almost say your name.
I wrote that down too.
Wow, double rainbow. What does it mean?
Oh my god, what year was this shit? Chipwrecked. Oh, man, what the fuck, these names? The Chipmunks, Chipettes, and Dave all go on a cruise. Dave and the kids get separated, he runs into Ian, and both pairs end up on the same island trying to find each other. The boys run into this woman who's lived on the island for like 11 years, and yeah, I don't know, the rest of the movie happens after that, I guess. Full disclosure, I fucking hated Chipwrecked as a kid. I saw it on my 13th birthday, and I don't remember anything about it. I just remember being fucking mad. I haven't said much about it, but the Chipmunks look better and better in each of these movies. This is when it really starts to become noticeable. And look at this really great character animation on Alvin. This one is full of this kind of stuff. They do a better job with the girls in this too. This little interaction from them in the first third is more in character of them than anything they do in the second movie.
So, an island? No, an island would probably be helpful. So if you see one, you should definitely say something. Jeanette? Oh.
Brittany's sass, Jeanette being oblivious and not reading the room. Eleanor's, well, she's kind of just there, but you know what I mean. It's the perfect interaction between them. Brittany is definitely more in character in this one than the last one. The attitude's there. She doesn't want to sleep outside. She's competitive. She's a little full of herself. She admittedly gets more to do in this one. All the girls do. So it makes sense that their personalities come out more. I think the true issue with the second one is that it had so much going on that it kind of treated all of the girls as collectively one whole protagonist. A good example of what I'm talking about is something like the Powerpuff Girls movie. Things happen to the girls as a unit and they react as a unit. Blossom, Bubbles, nor Buttercup do not have their own arcs, they just share one. For better or for worse, this one doesn't have much going on. It doesn't have to establish anything. It kind of just creates room for these characters to breathe and walk around. So it makes sense for their personalities to come out more. Which would be good money if this was a TV episode or something, but it's an hour-and-a-half movie. For a feature film, it's pretty bare bones. A lot more Dave here, but they're separated for most of this one again. So we don't get to feel his relationship with the kids really come out, which I think hurt this movie thematically a little bit. I know I care if they see Dave again, because I grew up with these characters. I don't think they do much in this movie to actually make us feel what they want us to.
You're really good with those kids. You should know that whatever happens, you did nothing wrong.
Thanks, Ian.
They start fucking, it was gross.
Ian gets a little arc in this thing, kinda. You know, he learns to let go. Alright, fam. Like I've been holding off for a little minute or whatever, but who the fuck is this? We don't know you. Why did y'all invent this character just to give David Cross the worst experience of his entire life?
There were just a handful of producers. This woman, Karen Rosenfeld, and then this other woman, I can't remember her name, but just inexplicably shitty.
Why him, y'all? I ain't never seen Arrested Development, but I'm sure he aight in that shit. On a face like that, I'm sure he could arrest the shit out some development.
Where the f are my hard-boiled eggs?
Leave me alone. Stop. Oddly though, even though this one doesn't have much going on, this one feels more like a Chipmunk story than before. These characters being in one environment and being forced to interact with each other is honestly just this franchise's style. The climax is honestly what saves this thing. These niggas was in real life danger. There were so many moments I was positive were Dave's last breath. There's a part where Dave is hanging off a cliff, right? And the only two people available to help him are the two characters that hate him. And Alvin runs over. Look at this poor, scared fucking child. This shit broke my damn heart when I saw it.
What are you guys doing? Help me! Please! Help me save my dad!
Like, golly, this nigga acting, boy. I don't like Chipwrecked. At least I don't think I do. It feels more like a Chipmunk story from the 80s, but it damn sure ain't written like a good one. Same humor issues from before, I don't know. These are all kind of doing some things right, but I don't think I'll ever watch these again. They're not like repeat viewing like Wolfman or Chipmunk Adventure. Oh, and they do the Spanish Buzz thing from Toy Story 3 with Simon, but he's French instead.
Allons-y! He's so French.
Okay, shorty, what else?
Actually, I recently flew next to the Chipettes, and they were ladies.
Hey, don't judge me. I saw pink flamingos.
Where the fuck did this child see pink flamingos?
It looks like this is the last one.
Alright, here's the last one. The road chip. Whatever. Dave's been dating this new woman with a son that the boys just cannot stand. He brings her on a trip to Miami and the boys think that he's planning to propose, so they make their way to Miami too to stop the proposal.
But I got a new one for you. Juicy Wiggle!
This is my Giselle.
Fam, he just said this shit was new. Where the fuck you hearing that? I love the opening to this. It probably starts the best of any of these movies. Everyone is so in character, it's great. They're planning a party for Dave, but it's all told through this blog style iPhone footage. This shit is pretty good.
Well, there's no way to sugarcoat it, Dave. The cops are here and they're having a blast.
Happy birthday, Dave!
This whole movie though, this last movie is the one that feels the most like a Chipmunks film. The characters are written better with dialogue closer to that CGI cartoon than the rest of these movies. We spend a lot of time with them and Dave. This is the first time their dynamic felt perfect in these. They're apart for a chunk, but they bring them back together sooner than you think. The song sequences feel way more genuine than that fake ass hip hop shit they had them doing before. This villain is just the right flavor of Klaus and Claudia. He's just as silly, as campy, just as gross. I love it. It's so stupid. He hates the boys because he was a fan and his shorty broke up with him while their record was playing. And the entire road trip, the entire road trip, he's just on their ass. Holy shit. It's just the right amount of dumb for these characters, honestly.
Before you guys know it, you'll be back out in the forest. Pulling your nuts.
First of all, that's what squirrels do. We are chipmunks. Chipmunks do that too. And the fact that I didn't know that is exactly why we cannot end up back in the forest.
Now, this is a funny joke, but fam, you did this in the first movie. It's literally the first time he was on screen. How could they do this? Fire somebody for this damn blunder. Well, it took 4 damn movies, but Jason Lee finally nails the Alvin yet. Alvin! If it was me playing Dave, I wouldn't even do the damn yell. Every time he do something, I just hit him with that get your. I think this little dynamic is pretty interesting too, where the girls kind of remain popular hosting American Idol and shit, while the boys are just fucking washed. You think it's just something that's happening in the background, but they actually have them vent about it.
Why did they get to move out and do all this cool stuff?
Nobody even recognizes them in public anymore, which is like, do you know how washed you gotta be for people to not recognize 3 talking chipmunks in hoodies? But it's also cool, a thing in this movie is that Dave wants them to fall back from music and just be kids. And because of that and being washed, the boys take every chance they can to perform during the trip, to the point where the news calls it a comeback tour. I thought it was an interesting little plot thread, but honestly, none of these movies got shit on how this one ends. I've been saying throughout this video, right throughout all of my Chipmunk videos, that Alvin, Simon, Theodore, and Dave have always been written as a family first. But one thing no other Chipmunks media has ever done is make it official.
By signing this, you not only agree to take care of, but to provide for the health, welfare, and educational needs of Alvin, Simon, and Theodore. Alvin, Simon, and Theodore, do you agree to this adoption?
Adoption?
Fam, this shit is adorable. I deadass forgot this is how it ends. It's so sweet.
I still need you to say something like I agree, just to make it legal.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Me too. 1000%. And that's not even a real number.
I think I like this road chip shit, bruh. I wasn't cracking the hell up or nothing, but it's a pretty standard Chipmunks movie if I'm being really honest. Cut a couple really corny ass dated catchphrase jokes, animate this shit in 2D, and literally nobody bats a damn eye. It's not Wolfman, it's not Chipmunk Adventure, but it's borderline a tier under the motherfucker. I'm scared to recommend it because I'm scared y'all gonna watch it and not like it. They'd be mad at me and shit. But I definitely had a good time. The best time that I feel like I've had since the first one for sure. I can't get this shit a negative review, bro. They got the homie in the back.
Shh. Be silent. Be still. And you, get in there.
Ow, easy.
Both you.
If I was to rank these based on quality, I'd do boom, 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 boom. But if I was to rank these based on how well they showcase these characters and actually feel like the franchise, I might go boom, 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 boom. I think 1 and 3 do a really great job building and capturing character, but it all comes together perfectly with that stuff in 4. I feel like the second one is the odd one out because aside from a few select moments, it doesn't really feel like any other Chipmunks media out there. I think these movies struggle to understand Dave and the girls a little bit. Like, I don't know if this Dave is capable of that. Somebody help, my son's in trouble from the Chipmunk Adventure. But at the same time, I don't know if he needs to be because Alvin's help me save my dad creates the exact same emotion in my mind. I think they really lost a lot of time when Dave couldn't be in that second movie. It could have been a really cool way to show the boys' new status quo, their life with this dad that they love so much. And in Chipwrecked, we get moments of them saying how much they care about each other, but you know guys, this is show not tell. I feel like this is a franchise where you just can't skip over the simple family stuff. The first movie prioritizes it, and that last one does a great job showcasing it. But those two in the middle are nothing burgers in that regard. Ross and Janice were around for these movies, and while they didn't necessarily oversee every aspect, I can see their influence being one of the reasons why there's a good level of respect for the source material. We've joked about these movies for years, Lord knows I have, but I don't regret doing this. I smiled a lot. It made me happy to see these characters again when they were done right. And if you care about these characters, I don't know, try watching these movies through that lens. You just might feel the same. Or not. I don't know, don't go blaming me for shit now.
Why is energy drinks are just named after things that will kill you?
Right.